To delete this message, press 7 to save it in the archives. Press 9 to hear more options. Press 0. What are you talking about?
Hello.
Whoa, hello there.
Hello. Back to another Unrelated show with our very special guest. Wait, hold on. I feel like we should have like an introduction for Charles.
Yeah. Wait, don't speak yet.
Wait. Yeah.
All right. So, look, listen. What you're probably thinking, what is the frick is going on?
yes.
Well, we had to pay our dear boy Charles a visit.
Yes.
And if
this
you don't
is
know who
his
Charles
grand
Gibbons is,
estate. This is.
He is a dear friend of ours.
Yes, dear friend. One of the first people to be like, oh, these guys are pretty cool on Twitch, and he gave us his time and day and was like, yes, these are my boys. It's true, he did do that.
He did. He has one of the top clips that he's clipped from us, and he has his own stream where
Charles,
he is killing it. He's been killing it on the Elden Ring.
Oh, he has.
And what was it? The Lord of the Rings game.
Oh, the MMO, Lord of the Rings
was
Online.
popping off.
Now, Charles, he is quite the gentleman, the scholar as well. And if you want to know any amount of lore to any of the things that Charles loves so much, you go to his channel because he will tell you everything. All there is to know, all the juicy details, all the bits and bobs. I see Charles weighing that right now, but I'm gonna stand by it. I'm gonna stand by it.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Charles.
Greetings and salutations, friends. My name is, of course, CharlesQBanks,
Yes.
and welcome to the Unrelated show.
I love it. Let me make sure your audio level. There we go.
Welcome in, Jared. Saint.
Hey, we got Jared.
Jared.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Saint Bellestrade.
Yes, he is of my crew.
Saint Bellestrade. I like the name. Thank you for giving us a follow, by the way. I did
you so much.
It's funny because we were on we were just testing things out in OBS, and OBS was like, "Oh, we got a new follower. Thank you." So thank you.
But another follower we've been having is OK.
Kylo. Fun fact. OK, Kylo gifted me Bloodborne. Yes.
So without her giving us that game,
the good man.
Gift.
It's a lady.
It's a lady.
A fair lady.
Yeah. Yes,
Good lady.
Yes, she was gracious enough to get us that, and it was a fun time. That was when we had to do the tribute stream, and it was a good fit.
We did that. We did that on that.
Oh yeah,
really?
we played Bloodborne for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Had to do it all my favorite things.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
we had to play
that's
as
why,
we would play as Charles in Bloodborne, as well as get inspired by his wares.
Yeah.
I was quite honored.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think we should just hop
Okay,
in.
so
Yeah.
we have some questions for Charles.
Yes, let me know
Hopping
if
right into it.
Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way, chat, if you will.
Yeah. So, I didn't think this through. I needed chat on here, but
Yeah, I'll keep it up.
okay. Let's see here.
You know what?
It is beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful music.
It was quite nice. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of there's a lot of classical songs out there that are just free to use because they are so old, and I'm like, I'm glad. Perfect. Best opportunity
works.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to
Best
what
music.
the saint said?
Ah, yes, thy saint. You may wish to turn yourselves up to match Charles.
Oh, okay.
Ah, thank you. We'll
I'm glad I was louder.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Charles has the honor of being louder than us, for sure.
Let's see.
Very good of you,
so
boys.
The first question I had for you is origins on the name, because we've been on
Yes.
Twitch for a while, and we've had friends that's not their name, and I'm like, what? That's
Yes.
by no.
What?
Yeah,
Right.
But also, we're named the Unrelated Show, so it's not.
true. It's
you
true.
know, but that is what people call you. I call you Charles. I
Wait,
don't even
hold
know if
on.
that's your real name.
Your name
Right.
is Unrelated
No.
and show.
Not at all.
Unrelated Show Daniel is a pretty long name, I must say.
Yeah, it's illegal as well.
It is. It has the
Is it?
underscore. Yeah.
Wow. I guess
So-
it's illegal to be
Yeah,
confusing.
I guess I was just wondering. You don't have to say your real name if it
Yes.
isn't. I'm just asking, where did you get the name?
Yes, okay, so to answer the question, I actually was talking about this earlier in my stream, but yes, it is not my true name. It is a collection of things I've been called by my family. So Charles comes from Peanuts, Chuck. They call him sometimes, and they also call me Chuck, because that's his full name, Charlie Brown. So they call me Charles. He gets called Charles in one episode, and he's like, Charles? I thought that was very funny, so my family just started calling me Charles. And then Quasar, I used to like astronomy a lot, and learning astronomical words, and the stars and planets and stuff. And when I learned the word quasar, my dad liked the name so much that he started calling me Quasar. So that's what the Q stands for. And then
Quasar
Banks.
is a nice name for sure.
Yes, Banks comes from Mary Poppins.
Oh.
Mr. Banks, you know.
Oh,
Okay. Yes.
I would have
Mr.
never guessed
Banks. So
That's
my
awesome.
family called me that as well. I don't know. When my dad or my mother likes something, they just call their children that.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
my
yeah.
father called my sister Sponge Breaker. I don't know the lore behind that.
That sounds
And
like a
called my
Dark
brother
Souls boss.
Hoochie-Bagao.
Hoochie-bagao?
Hoochie-bagao.
Hoochie-Bagao. Do not ask why.
So
Okay.
what
okay.
if what if your dad ate a hot dog and it was really good, and he just calls you hot dog?
Yeah.
Would that be
He-
possible?
I would not be surprised at all.
Alright.
Hot dog.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got a first-time chatter in
Yeah.
here as well.
I'm sorry.
Alimar!
but that's Alomar?
Hey,
Dude.
Olimar.
Dude,
from Pikmin?
thank you for the follow.
Yeah.
I saw that earlier. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our dear friend Charles here. We
Ah,
also have
yes.
a portrait of him.
we do.
When
we
this,
do.
So
Yes.
this room we have specifically for Charles. It's the
Yes.
Charles tribute room
Yes.
that we made for the
Yes.
tribute stream. Oh, the pipe! We don't have the pipe.
I have the pipe.
You
It's
got the
just-
pipe?
It's so I'll
Where
grab,
is it?
I'll grab the pipe.
grab it. Yeah, we gotta. Come on.
Grab the pipe.
What are you doing? But yeah, we did a tribute stream for Charles back in the day. What are you doing? And we went all out. Right now, I'm just I like this coat.
Welcome
and stuff.
home,
Oh,
Russian one.
I heard that.
Slurify.
Slurify.
Thank you so
What?
much
Ooh.
for Subarino.
Slurify.
How's it going, man? How you been?
I'm trying to find a pipe.
But yeah, I have this garb here because I thought it looked very Bloodborne-y, and I know that one's your favorite Souls game, so I wore
Yes,
it.
it
With
is.
the
I
buttons.
love it.
He was like, "You look like a pirate," and then I put the glasses on, and he's like, "Oh, okay, now it's Bloodborne."
Yes.
Better. Well, Bloodborne, you know, there are lots of armor sets that look very piratey.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Oh, I can't read the.
I wonder
chat.
if
Do you have
if
it? Oh.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, it's right there. I wonder how that would go, like a From Software type piratey game. You know, there's ships, there's sailing. That'd be interesting.
That would be crazy.
Finding rare
That would be
loot.
interesting.
Yeah.
This is a banger.
I would be totally into that for sure.
I would too.
That's very cool. It is very cool. I love the origins on the name. You just kind of.
Yes. So it's Charles Quasar Banks.
So your name
Yep.
is literally like the Avengers. They all came together to form a.
Yeah, that's exactly like the Avengers, Daniel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They all came together to form a super name.
Yeah.
With our powers combined, we create a Twitch channel.
You
Captain
may call
Planet
me
would be almost more to the point.
Really? Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
It's a shiny guy.
Yes, it's the shiny.
By the way,
guy.
if this is your first time here, if you're coming from Charles's channel,
Yes.
Charles's chill channel. Sorry, didn't mean to mistake you.
I forgive you, my
how
son.
we are. We're a lot more X-rated than our friend Charles. I know
we
he
can be
keeps it
for
very, family friendly.
yes.
Over here,
yes.
you don't know what goes
Not
behind
so.
these halls.
A lot of just farts and
A lot of fart. You can hear the
yeah.
farts echoing
Yeah.
in the
Oh.
chambers there.
That's true.
Just screams
Online
of
name is
agony.
also given name by my parents. So, just like my normal name, my actual name.
Oh wait, what?
If you think about it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no certificate.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now that was one question.
The what? Wow.
We have so many.
Dude, so
How many do you have? That's my question to you.
Hey, yeah,
there's the fart right now. You couldn't hear.
Look at this
Nice.
list. Look at this list of questions.
Oh yeah.
And that's just mine.
Yeah.
He has his own list.
I think Daniel has like one or two more questions than I do. But,
Yeah, they're about the same.
yeah.
Almost the same.
Yeah.
So the next one is why the soul's obsession.
Ah.
Why is I gotta know why
Yes. What is your
is that-
passion to the Souls game?
why is yeah, you just why you know
Please.
So, this is an interesting question. I have thought about this a lot myself, and it's very difficult to nail it down, because I feel like it has to do with what I played as a youngster, which was mostly what we now call retro games, like Nintendo games, Sega Genesis games. So the idea of hardcore difficulty was never an issue, I guess. Like those games, most of them I never finished. I've never finished Mario, never finished Sonic 1. I finished Sonic 2 and Donkey
wow.
Kong Country. But, so I guess that makes sense as to why I'm okay with the difficulty, I guess. But beyond that, I've always loved fantasy. Lord of the Rings is like my second favorite book series of all time, or maybe my first favorite book series, and with, Dracula being my favorite book of all time. So I love fantasy, and medieval fantasy. I used to love historical books on medieval armor and weapons and castles. I would come home from the library with stacks and stacks of that sort of book, just poring over it. And so I have a very good understanding, not expert at all, about medieval things. And Dark Souls does it in such a realistic way. It's not like a JRPG where they take influences here and there and smash them all together in a way that's completely unnatural or out there, Which is very cool on its own, for sure, in an anime way. But it's more like grounded, in the same way that the Lord of the Rings movies are grounded. So it's kind of, at the time when Dark Souls or Demon Souls came out, that sort of a game style was not very common. It is now, because Souls likes is now its own genre,
Yeah.
which I am very happy about. But yeah, so I love medieval, I love fantasy, and I like challenge. Like I kind of expect it out of games. And yeah, it's another thing is it's very simplistic. It may not seem like that upon first playthrough, but the combat is very straightforward. Roll, attack, back up, sidestep. That's about it. Block, dodge, block, attack. That's all you do. And that simplicity is very much like those old retro games that I used to love. Where the difficulty is not in how complex it is, not even sometimes your reflexes. It's just how well can you do it in the moment.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's also kind of like an MMO, where you can just level the heck up, get yourself extremely strong, and overpower everything, is really nice. And when I realized that in Dark Souls 1 is when it clicked for me. I had a hard time with it up until I realized you could go back and just kill everything over again, and level up, and be 10 times as strong as before. It makes it a very, very nice experience, where it's just you just sit back and grind for a while. So that's that answer, I guess.
How long did it take you to get to the point of sorry, my dog threw me off. How long did it take for you to kind of get to the point where Dark Souls clicked for you, where you kind of like got it, you understood it?
So
I'll be right back.
I had played up until the gargoyles, right? And that's maybe,
I
don't know, 8 hours in. Yeah, on the gargoyles on the rooftop. I had pretty easily fought through most things, and it was very difficult. There were many small enemies that were killing me. But it hadn't been that ridiculously hard. And, I thought, this is a cool game. I love the medieval portions of it. I like the fantasy, but like the lore. But there was nothing so far that made me like, oh, I love this game. Up until the point where I found Andre and the fact that you could level up and get your weapons leveled up as well. And then I did all of that, and I summoned Solaire and just murdered the gargoyles immediately upon trying again. I was like, oh my gosh, this game is awesome. Because beforehand, I had spent days of trying against the gargoyles. Like, spent 3 hours one day, couple days the next day, an hour the next day. I was like, this is just not working. This game is pain. And that's when I was aware also of the memes of Dark Souls. You're a masochist if you play Dark Souls, and I hadn't understood it up until that time. But then I just blasted through them, like I just said, and I was like, okay, I get it. It clicks with me. I can enjoy this. And I've never been the same since.
But you were talking about how you like the fantasy aspect of it, but let's be honest, there are some horrific things in there.
There are.
True.
Yeah.
And all
True.
of them.
Grotesque even.
Yes.
Very true.
Well,
You are right about that.
and that stuff never bothered you, or have you always been like into horror movies too, or is
Okay,
it just...
so there's another thing about getting into Dark Souls. The reason why I actually started playing Dark Souls, because that's where I started, was because I had just defeated... I had bought an Xbox 360 and played through Gears of War 2 on it. And I enjoyed that game very much. That was like the first game that I had played that was rated M for mature, I think. And I played through Halo as well, and Halo ODST, and a bunch of the Halo games. And those are all so fun, right? But then I'd finished those, and I was like, what am I gonna do now? I was bored, really, and so I started looking at the Xbox store, and I'm looking up, RPGs, MMOs, games that were, like, I don't know, not challenging per se, but just set in a different setting. I hadn't played anything medieval fantasy for a long time, and I love it, so I looked up Dark Souls, and I was like, this is M-rated as well. This looks horror. I don't know if I can play this, because it like showed the Tomb of the Giants and the giant skeleton dog men that attack you, and I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with this. And then I was like, you know what? I'm a man. I can take it. If I don't, I'll start playing it, and if I don't like it, I can always stop. I can refund it as long as it's within a certain amount of time. So I started playing it, and it wasn't half as horror as I had expected. That's basically me in horror. Like, I always expect things to be far more terrifying than I imagine in my mind. I don't know why. I haven't, like, gone through any crazy trauma, but my nightmares and my mental landscape is, not always, but I've seen some crazy stuff in my brain, crazier than anything I've ever seen in real life that's horrifying and horrible and degenerate, I guess. So, when it comes to Dark Souls, that's tame. Like, there's nothing that really freaked me out too much. And, except for, again, the Tomb of the Giants, that's pretty horrifying. Like, in the dark, not able to see 5 feet in front of you, and there are giant skeletons after you.
Probably giving someone PTSD right now.
Probably giving myself PTSD.
Yeah, you haven't gone to that part in Dark Souls 1, I don't think.
I've never even played it.
Yeah, it's
That'd be a good playthrough, I think.
I think so as well.
I
think so as well.
Let me just say hi to some peeps real quick.
Oh, please
Forbidden
do.
Crypt.
Hey, Crypt, welcome
I
in,
gotta
brother.
give him the
Crypt.
MMOs, you say? Yeah, you're a big
yes.
MMO fan.
I
know
do
Crypt.
like MMOs.
Have you ever tried out the Final Fantasy 14 MMO?
I have not.
Okay.
I do want to, but I don't like the idea of subscription services. I know that it's free for a certain amount of time, but the fact that it's a subscription service after that is like,
Well,
difficult to get me in it.
I know they have changed the model quite a few times now. I think now it's like all the content is free up until the very last expansion. So that once I heard that, I was like, you know what? Go check it out. It's pretty good. I had fun with it. I haven't played it since, but to be fair, Elden Ring did come out, so I haven't played it since Elden Ring came out. And but the time I had was fun.
Good. Yeah, I mean, according to the internet, it's like the best MMO ever made.
Oh yeah.
I like Saint's message. I can imagine Charles getting the cartridge for Donkey Kong served to him on a silver platter.
That's
Just eating it.
fun.
Yes.
Rip goes, Liam's ruining my chance to say copy pasta.
No, why? Well, which copy pasta?
I guess I do have the next question for you.
Okay.
Why
Talk
do
it to
you
me.
dress the way you dress? I know you've probably answered this a million times.
I haven't answered it that many times, actually.
Almost.
It seems like I have a different reason every single time someone asks me. But there are a lot of good reasons. So, my first suit that I owned was a hand-me-down from my father. And it fit me perfectly. It hadn't fit him since, like, 1980. And it was one of the suits that... I can't remember what he wore it for. I think he officiated a wedding. He was a pastor for a while. Before I was born, but hasn't done any pastoring in a long time. But anyway, so I wore that to a gathering at one time. I was just like, you know what? I want to wear a suit. It was in probably 2010. I chose to do this, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, you look so good!" And people were like taking pictures, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." getting attention and all this. And I've always liked the look of suits, and I always thought it was very, respectful looking and respectable, noble looking. Sorry.
You're good, Maurice.
Scam calls.
Tell the
Stop calling me! Scram! But, Scram! I love your voices, Liam. Good grief.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do his voices all like I was getting
yeah.
out of the gym last night, and the sprinklers were on, and I was like,
It's my most primal, most primal noise.
yeah.
Daniel almost made me spit out my tea.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. But anyway, so I like the attention. I like how respectful it is. And you know me, I want things to return to the good old days.
Yes.
The old ways, the traditional way of things.
Yes,
Um,
of course.
The 20s fashion is like so amazing. And I realized once I started wearing that one suit, I like wore it out over the next like month. I was like, you know
wow.
what? I can wear this and I'm comfortable and people compliment me. Why don't I wear this all the time? It's not even like a white tie suit or a tuxedo or anything. It's just a business suit,
Yeah.
And so I started looking for more suits to wear at on clearance and stuff like that, on thrift stores, and it's extremely cheap to
Right.
find good-looking suits, even if they are old, maybe patched up or something.
Yeah.
But the look of it is so much more respectful and noticeable than anything the common folk wear these days.
Plebs. The plebs.
No disrespect,
I
but
mean,
no.
It's true though, because like, a lot of like my button-up shirts, like the nice ones I had to get for like high school and the such, like I wore those a lot. And,
Really?
Oh yeah. Like for my high school, it was almost
Yes.
necessary for you to like wear like nice like button-down clothes, nice jackets, and so
dress code.
Yes, dress code. Oh, we did have a dress code, but we also had a dress a lot more formal for very specific events and situations.
Yes.
And dude, I'm telling you, my suits and my white button-up shirts always lasted a lot longer than like a normal like
Yes.
logo T-shirt.
Built
or
to
something.
last, Duralast.
Yeah.
Like Duracell battery.
Yeah, this stream is actually sponsored by Duralast.
I didn't
didn't
even
tell
know.
you.
Yeah, didn't even know. Duralast, it does the job or something.
Duralast, they last.
Yep.
I
Blast from the past.
I didn't have a
Last.
dress code at my high school. It was just, just school.
Normal
just a-
public high school, right?
Yeah, just a public
Yeah.
one. A lame look. I was with the plebs. I know. Hold on.
Yeah.
I know. That's not right. Yeah, so I never, like, I had like some button-ups, but it was like for your graduation or like a little party. But they're like the short sleeve button-ups, because it's San
Right.
Diego.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hot here.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I
Like
never,
Napoleon Dynamite.
I never had a suit or nothing, but I did have a friend who taught me how to play bass, and he, towards the end of his high school years, like probably say when he was a junior or senior, he started wearing just suits, and I was like, why do you wear that? He was just like, I would always wear a suit if I could, so
Yeah.
yeah, so he always
Why
did.
not?
Yeah, and I guess that's why I kind of like I see that in you. I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably why. And good for him because he always had a suit. And then when you really need a suit, like oh dang, I need to go to like a funeral or like
yeah.
court for some reason. I don't know. Just,
Of all the situations, you choose funeral, and court.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna need a
Those
suit?
are the most likely to happen.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yeah, like that, or like a job interview.
True. Job
or like-
interview is a little bit more.
Job interview is
Or
more
you go-
likely.
Like, when does someone get invited to an orchestra or a play? You know?
It depends. Depends who you're with.
Yeah.
Depends who you're with.
True.
But me and Liam, we were in acting class, so we
Yeah.
would have to go to plays.
Yes.
Because it was like, you have to go. Because he would get it for us for free, we just have to show up.
Yeah.
And there is some sort of a dress code there. You know? Sorta.
Most theaters don't want people wearing sandals, shorts, and a tank top. You know?
So I eventually had to get a suit, and they're for a good looking ones, like you said, they're not that hard to find. Like this,
Yeah.
this one's mine, and I have the suspenders
No,
from
it's
H&M.
mine.
But that suit I got from a friend who was just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the Goodwill, but do you want to take a gander? And I got like three of those suckers.
Oh,
I was
shit.
like, oh hell
Yeah.
So
These
there you have
days, there's no reason not to, because it's like, I mean, if you like it, of course, and there is a lot of subjectivity to it, but at the same time, if you wear a suit, people will comment on it, because that culture from, ever since the suit was invented, has remained. And it's funny, because, like, you look back at old movies or, like, period pieces, Dickensian shows and such, everybody's wearing a suit, even the hobos, right?
Yeah.
They are.
It was just a style. Like, even the most bottom of the barrel styles of clothing were all like suits and waistcoats and styles of the same thing.
I was when we were setting up, I was like, why don't you take off the jacket, and it looks like you're a working man with the suspenders.
It's true. It did look like I was a working man.
That is true.
Yeah.
It was kind of paining me for a while there, not seeing you guys in ties, but I am very proud that you are, dressing up a bit for the occasion.
Oh, that we don't have ties?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my tie.
I do have one. I think I would have looked like I was going to a funeral if I were to wear one, though.
Why?
A lot of black. Yeah.
That's fine. Black
Oh.
is industrial as well as funerary.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. So yeah, Charles giving us some tips and tricks.
You don't have to do that, Daniel. You don't have to wear all the button-ups. It's okay. All the buttons.
I didn't.
Buttons.
I actually like it this way.
Buttoned
Like
all the
that,
way up.
all the way up.
I like to breathe, so I like to have.
Well, you
it
got chest
one
on your
less.
hair. I don't.
I do have chest
got-
on my hair.
Dude, you got chest, or you
I
can show off the
I do
carpet.
have chest on my hair. It is true.
You got
It is
so
true.
much chest.
Yeah, I do have a lot of chest
Yo, a
on my
lot
hair.
of chest on you. Oh, I keep on trying to read. Here you go. You're in charge now.
Thank you.
What they're saying.
Black on black can be classy.
Yeah,
it is
that's
true.
true.
It is true. Yeah. It is.
Indeed,
Yeah,
indeed.
Maybe I should have. But also, I maybe it is like a San Diegan thing, but I do like the open collared kind of look. You know, it
Yeah.
looks very like.
Well, Charles doesn't, so you can't do that.
Well, Charles said otherwise.
No, it does look good. Like, there are some movies you've seen Nicolas Cage in the National Treasure movies. He always
yes.
wears the flared collar, and not bad,
I have
but
to look that up.
if you can wear a tie and it's not too uncomfortable for you,
Pop that
you
sucker.
do it. Yeah.
We'll do Charles.
Okay, Charles, I'm sorry.
Charles, I'm sorry.
All right, I do have the next question here.
Oh,
Damn,
please.
that's
lay
Next
it on
question.
me. Lay it on me.
Dude, it's already almost 8.
Wow. All right.
This is probably gonna take off stream.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
If you let us know when you need to
Yes.
go,
Yes.
so let us
yes.
know, and we'll switch it back.
Very well. How long do you guys intend or plan to have me?
I thought it was only gonna be an hour, but already been an hour.
Like,
Right.
Literally, like, if you have more time, that would be great. If it is entirely up to you though, for sure. Yes.
I have the power.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, I could go for another hour.
Okay,
For sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see here. Why did you become a streamer, and how did you get started, basically?
Okay, so let's see. I have to think back. Roll back the tapes to 2015, summer of 2015, where I had just finished being a volunteer minister, guitar player at Every Home for Christ, a ministry that did international missions and had a nice prayer room and music room that would go 12 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Oh, wow.
And very, very cozy for people to come in and do for a couple of hours. But, so I did that for a while, and then at the end of that, my phone is speaking to me. Phones are not meant to do that.
It's true. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so at the end of that, I finished that, and the ministry kind of broke up. Like, they weren't doing the 5-day-a-week things anymore. Musicians all left. So I was like, what am I gonna do? And I do have chronic fatigue, so I couldn't really get a job or hold a job at the time. And I had tried being employed by my father to work for him at his vacuum business, and that worked, but I did not have the energy all the time to be consistent about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically was like, okay, I have all this time, what am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't remember. I think one of my friends made me aware of Twitch, that one of their friends streamed on Twitch. Oh, it was Mefka. There's a mod named Mefka, who is actually my brother-in-law, and he started streaming League of Legends. And, and that was a time. But, so I watched him on Twitch. I made I registered on Twitch and to watch him and follow him. And I was like, I could do this. And so I started streaming Nintendo 64 PC games, like PC games emulating N64 games. And started with Banjo-Kazooie, and just to try out, how it felt, and I did it like once a week. Yeah, it was basically just because I was bored. And Mefka made it look fun.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of Markiplier and people like that, Let's Plays on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so that really made an impact on me, for sure.
Oh, that goes into the next question of, like, do you have any inspiration, and, like, does it bleed into your kind of style of how you stream?
Oh yes. So Markiplier is definitely one big one, because it was at that time that I had been watching him that I decided to stream as well. But also, what's his name? The guy who does movie reviews, or yeah, he still does them actually. Blonde guy with the tie and the suit and the black hat. Oh man, Nostalgia Critic.
So
Yes.
Nostalgia Critic?
Nostalgia Critic. I watched a lot of Nostalgia Critic at the time as well, and I was like, his production quality is super low. Anybody could do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he was
Kinda has,
like
a
super
charm to it.
charismatic.
Nowadays.
Exactly. So I got really inspired by him, because it's just like, you could tell he was powering through his anxiety, right? Of being on screen and doing these crazy skits. And I was like, okay, I can do that too. And so I did YouTube for a while, book reviews, really in-depth book reviews where I'd have to like study a week beforehand and
wow.
reread the book and stuff like that. And I loved doing that, but
You were giving yourself homework?
yeah, basically.
Oh my
I love
God.
classical literature, so
Yeah.
it didn't really feel like homework, but I was wearing myself out.
Yeah.
And I could not do that because it's like I'd have to work on that like every day for a week to make a video that I was pleased with. And if I wasn't pleased with it, then I was like, why am I even spending so much time on it? Why am I putting any effort into it? So yeah, mainly my health stopped me from doing that. But my next big inspiration, after I'd started doing that and kind of quit the book reviews and started doing Twitch, was Lobos Jr., who used to be a Dark Souls only guy.
Yeah.
So I'd watch him and just veg for hours, watching him just very calmly run around in Dark Souls, die a lot. He would never react to what happened.
Really?
Just so nonchalant, this guy.
He
Like
would
the
just
patience
die
of
and
a god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that was very inspiring. It's like, wait, he's just playing games and not even... Like, Markiplier, you can tell he put a lot of sauce on what he did, you know, what he does.
Yeah.
And I like that about Markiplier. But Lobos Jr., he's just himself the whole time.
Calm, cool, collected.
Exactly, and thousands of people would watch him. So I was like, I need to play Dark Souls and stream it.
Oh yeah.
So then I bought console, because I never streamed from the Xbox. I think you needed Xbox Live to do that or something.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, I bought a PS4 and started streaming Dark Souls from there. And the rest is history. I believe it was in 2017 that I actually started streaming for real, like multiple days a week, not just one. And then I went up to like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for a while.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was rough.
Oh yeah. Like
I
we do
stopped doing
3
that.
hours and like I feel like our minds turn to mush.
Yeah, it's sometimes we just run through it and it's like, oh wow, that was nothing. And then sometimes, especially in the beginning stages, it was just like, oh man, what do we talk about?
I know.
What do we do?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it was streaming is interesting.
Yes, very.
It's
it
this
can be.
weird thing where it's like people will ask you, oh, what do you do? And it's like, oh, I do this, and then they go and watch you, and then you're just kind of just sitting there playing a game, and then like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But it's like, you just don't get it, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, you just don't get it.
Yeah, one day I was playing Bloodborne, and one of my ministry friends, he found me and he was like, you know, oh, what is Charles doing? And he heard from a friend I was doing Twitch, and he found the link, and he came in while I was playing Bloodborne in the midst of the dark forest or whatever it's called. There are all the serpents and crazy snake-headed monster men running around and visceraling everyone, and he's like, hey dude, what you doing? I'm like,
hey man,
I'm playing video games for the entertainment of others, and commentary. I'm doing commentary, yeah. He's like, cool, what else have you been up to?
Oh my God.
Not much.
Yeah, it's streaming's definitely weird.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if somebody asks you like, oh, what do? You kind of beat around the bush a little bit.
Definitely.
I am a media entertainment company.
Yeah. I am a production center for entertainment, not of that kind, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I guess my next question was also piggybacking off that, what you just said, because you talk about how you were like playing it on PS4. I'm like, how was it going from PlayStation to PC now? How was that transition for you?
So, it's been huge. I played on PS4 for probably, 4 years, I want to say. And that was a good time. I like how immediate it is. You just get a camera, and hit stream, decide where your camera is, you get a headset. I actually used earphones, like iPhone earphones,
Yeah.
with the little bud microphone.
Yeah.
And that's what I used for like a year or two, until I got a better headset with a microphone attached. And it was very immediate, very easy. I actually started on the laptop, streaming, that is. And then I used the PS... Yes, doing emulators. And then when I got the PS4, I used the PS4 Remote Play app to connect the window of what's going on the PS4 to the laptop screen.
Oh.
And I did that for like a couple of years. Played through Dark Souls a lot, and Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne. And then my laptop, like, pooped out on me. The battery, like, it won't recognize when a new battery is in it. So you just always have to have it plugged in. And then the monitor is getting all fuzzy, like there are lines on multiple parts of the screen. So I had to, like, watch the video game on a monitor like this size in between those lines.
Oh my god.
And it was just getting worse and worse until finally it wouldn't, like, it would not handle streaming anymore from it. Even the PS4 Remote Play, so I just switched to console streaming directly from PS4. And that was good. That was easy. But, you know, you don't get the overlays, you don't get the updates, the notifications, any of that. So, I did that for about a year until the computer pooped out. Yeah, I did that. And then recently, I bought a PC, and I've been playing mostly PC games. Like Elden Ring, I'm playing on PC. And all the things that I've added to it, like the blurps, the sound notifications.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the Ian McKellen.
Yes,
like
the Lord of
that.
the Rings quotes. The wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I just wonder how that process was, but that it sounds like you had it dialed in. You knew exactly what you needed to do.
Well, I didn't. But the community that I had built up beforehand is actually full of techies, right?
Yeah.
So Zenith and Zisu and Mefka and new people that came in on my recent Bible study streams all started coaching me on how to use my stinking PC.
Yeah.
And so a lot of different things like the blurps or like certain notifications and overlays were recommended to me. And now I'm getting like way more followers, way more subscriptions.
I've
and-
seen you've been popping off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially on that Lord of the Rings game, for sure.
Yeah.
right.
Going at it be like,
yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that one was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know Lord of the Rings Online had a like I didn't know people were still like into that, you know?
Yeah, it's quite surprising to me too. I'm glad. I love Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the
Me
Rings
too.
Online is a great MMO, probably my favorite MMO of all time that I've tried. And
a little sad
yeah.
you didn't like Shadows of War that much, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. It's the combat, man. Like it's rock paper scissors all the way after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like beat based. It's not necessarily reaction times. It is reaction times, but it's like
Yeah, it's kind
it's
of
more
a rhythm
like
game.
a rhythm game. Yes. And
Is
guess
that
what other
what you would
rhythm
say
game
about
I
Sekiro?
don't like? The Sekiro.
Yeah.
So there's a similar thing going on. It's not because the game isn't cool.
Yeah.
It's just because of the style of gameplay that it is. Not really repetitive after a while. But I appreciate what that game does for sure.
I wonder if you
Beautiful.
would like Hades.
Ah.
I wonder as well.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of roguelikes?
I have a love-hate relationship with roguelikes. I've tried a bunch, like a good handful of them, and like Mortal Shell's DLC is just like
yes.
a roguelike game in the middle of
Basically,
Mortal
yeah.
Shell. And that's hard. But Dark Devotion and what was the other one? There's another really nicely animated, fluid-looking game, side-scroller. Can't remember it right now. But I like them because there's that sense of they're always very smartly made, like a reason for the person to revive, or a reason for a person to be going down into this dungeon. And the fact that you can unlock big things that last through the game, I guess that would be a roguelite, right? That allow you to stay powerful are very nice, but I've never finished a roguelike or a roguelite. I love Returnal. That's a PS5 game that I played. It's so pretty, and it's so creepy, and it's so atmospheric and fun and fast. But holy cow, is it punishing. Like, you go back so far when you die, and you lose everything. Everything. You get, like, slight stat upgrades that are unlocks. Or, like, you unlock the ability to have the chance to get things.
Yeah.
And
that sounds
it's
like
just
80s.
Yeah. And that's cool, but it makes me feel like it's not my skill that will get me through. It's the random chance that I'll get the right items in a row to allow me to get to the end of the game or get past a difficult objective.
See that,
and I don't like that.
That's why I'm a huge fan of like Binding of Isaac, because it can be kind of like that, where it's like, oh, you know, shucks, I didn't get a good item at the start of the game, I got kind of a bad item. But there are ways you can kind of force it to the game to give you good items, and it's that strategy that I like. It's like, oh, I can do this to do this to do this to have another opportunity of getting a different item, and it's
right.
It's that strategizing I really like.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I like that strategy too. That is in Returnal as well.
Oh.
But there are definitely these moments where it's like, this demon that you have to fight, it has invulnerability during a certain amount of time, and it also does like ground AoE, but also it can hit you from across the room with no, warning, and it's like, oh, it's like Dark Souls, well, faster than Dark Souls level of reflexes requirements, and I don't have that. So it's both random chance and high skill level requirements. And so, like, that's my point. I love it. I love playing it, but it requires a certain amount of patience and repetition that I'm not willing to engage with. So, progression is something that's very important for me in a video game, to feel like something that I can do will make it so that I will progress next time I try, right? So, like, an MMO is just that the entire time. Like, you're always getting stronger. You're never receding. You're never getting worse, because it's all stats. It's all numbers.
Right.
So you just increase the numbers, and you'll be able to beat it. So I prefer that, personally. And Dark Souls is the perfect median line, where it's not an MMO, but it's not just a skill game.
Yeah.
You can go all in on the skill, wear nothing, never upgrade, and beat the game, but you can also go the opposite direction and go all in on the grinding and level up past everything else.
Yeah,
and it's glorious.
It's like an Elden Ring. You just you stay in the first part and just fight the boars over and over again.
There you go.
Yeah. Get to level 100.
Exactly. That's what you did?
Oh no, not at all.
My next one is gonna be, how did you get into anime, and which one did you start with?
Oh,
And probably this will be my last one, and then we'll transfer over
okay.
to yours.
Sounds good.
And then if
Sounds
we have
good.
time left over, we can go back to some of mine.
Sounds good.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
this is like my favorite conversation topic.
Anime. Let's go.
Yeah. So
I had to do research for you. I had to go into your abouts and
Oh,
pick and
yeah.
choose.
Oh, nice. You did your research. You did your homework.
I did a little bit.
Just
Partial.
enough.
Partially
Not too
read
much.
it. Yeah, no.
I think this. No. So there was a friend. Sorry, I'm having to go back in my mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yes, it was a friend. Philip is here. Is the follower in Twitch.
Yeah.
That's his name. But he got me into it, basically just by being like, "Do you watch much anime?" I'm like, I've watched One Piece on Saturday mornings when I was young, and like, Sonic X, and
Oh, I love Sonic X.
yeah,
That
was a
opening.
good show.
That was awesome.
Sonic X, Sonic X.
It doesn't even go like that, Charles. How dare you?
No,
It says
Daniel.
gotta go fast. Gotta go faster.
That's
faster,
it.
Faster. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
I just remember how funny it is to look back on and be like, those were the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like such simplistic lyrics.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed Sonic X a lot. I haven't watched it since I was a youngin', so
It was on Netflix
don't know how
not
well
too
it
long
holds
ago,
up.
and I saw it, and it's not bad.
wow.
It's not bad.
It was,
holds up.
is
I
it
thought.
still on Netflix?
I don't know. That's probably been. That was like a year ago.
I'd love to rewatch that. But
Yeah.
so I told my friend this, that I'd liked those, or well, I'd seen those. Ultimate Muscle was on. Like I watched anything that was on in Saturday mornings,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Well, there's this new anime called Attack on Titan that I've been watching, and it's intense." And so we watched that together. And I was like, "Holy cow, this is not a kids show," and I liked that about it. Like it didn't pull any punches. It was like a cinematic experience, Whereas, I mean, I would say a lot of people feel One Piece is a cinematic experience, but not in the same way, It does feel like for TV, a lot of the old anime were made to appeal to a children's audience and to be dumbed down in some way, or they were dumbed down by the American version, right? So you got this sense that, like, anime is either for children or for perverts. And that was my assumption as well. Or it's just, really stupid. And so Attack on Titan proved me wrong in that on every level. And I loved the lore. It had this, like, almost mythological feel to the lore.
Yeah.
As well as, like, Industrial Revolution, medieval feel, like, all at the same time. And I loved that. So that's one of my favorite shows, at least the first season. I'm gonna have to see all of the rest of it in order to give it a full judgment, because
Oh wow, you haven't even been keeping up.
not really. I haven't seen the last 2 seasons. So I will have to be going through that. I just don't want to watch it until I can watch all of it.
Yeah.
Because I like to binge anime.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I did that with
Yeah.
the Demon Slayer recently.
Oh, I'm doing that basically right now, whenever I get the time.
Yeah.
With Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
So yeah, Attack on Titan was the first one that I watched as an adult, and then the next one was like my friend was like, "Hey, anime can be pretty crazy, like we've been talking about, pretty extreme. Have you ever heard of Trigun? That's pretty crazy." And so we watched the first episode together, and yeah, it was crazy. And like lots of blood, like lots of guns, like real guns, and lots of like punk, post-apocalyptic motorcycle gangs attacking people and stuff like this. Like, wow, this is crazy. And I watched the rest of the show myself, and it was just a treat. It was a beautiful show, fun, funny, cute. I love that show so much. So Trigun is definitely my favorite show of all time.
Wow.
Not because it's inappropriate or violent, but because it's a really good story, and it's actually very happy-go-lucky, in spite of some of the dark themes that happen in it.
Yeah. I kind of
so
need
I would-
that in my anime.
Yeah, right?
I
agree.
I'm sorry, Charles, but I'm not too keen on Attack on Titan myself.
No. Yes.
Yeah, I just thought it was like everyone's just like.
Yeah.
The only person I liked was Sasha, the potato girl.
Right. Best
And
character.
I was like, she's cool. And then, but someone spoiled it for me, and I was like, oh, awesome. I was like, yeah.
Yep. Great.
Thanks. Yeah, I watched a bit. I watched up until he plugs the hole in the wall with the big boulder, and then after that, I kind of just I was like, okay, it's not.
You
for
get
me.
it?
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know what's going
Fair enough.
on. Yeah, I didn't really like the art style that much, and I know, I'm gonna
really?
get crucified for this, but yeah, just
Wow.
yeah.
So I mean, this is an interview for me, but what is your favorite anime, Danielle?
Right there.
I gotcha. Then that makes sense.
Just because
I should have known that.
It's the first one that I mean, I've seen like Yu-Gi-Oh, Sonic X, Pokemon. I don't know if you would consider that anime. When I was a kid, but as an adult, it was the first one because I knew of it, but I just never, I never watched it. I would see like a little bit in Spanish when I would be like in Mexico, because they would have it on all the time over there. But it would be in Spanish, and I never understood it. They would just like be flying, and they just stare at each other and just like with a little bit of blood on the lip, and I'd be like, "What is going on?
What is happening?
Yeah." And they'd be just say like cool things like, "I'm gonna destroy you," and I was like, "What?" He asked you about a sandwich or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
no context.
Yeah,
anime.
I was like, I don't know what is going on. So I always liked that art style. So that's what I watched Dragon Ball, and it's super cute, fun, perverted because of Master Roshi. And it's just like a little adventure, and I liked it a lot. So I just kept it going, and it becomes the most epic, manly thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
So yeah, I know it's like the little like basic anime but I don't know. I think it's fantastic.
But it's
You
like
like
that
what
for
you
a
like?
reason, you know. Like it's good.
Yeah,
It's good stuff. Can't go
good
wrong.
stuff. Can't go wrong. Yeah, I
One
think
of those-
someone redeemed something. Oh, it's a nerd rage dancing.
Do it.
Dancing.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Charles.
Charles, what you're about to witness, I'm sorry. Sometimes you just gotta let it out, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Let it
There you
out.
go.
Yeah. Thank you, dancing.
How you doing,
I
Dan?
should have done it with you.
Did you want redemption?
We'll do it again.
He's like,
Let's
no.
see.
I should have said anything.
There is a cooldown. That's why.
It's okay,
okay.
it's
It's
okay.
okay.
But which one did you start off with?
Yeah.
Oh, my anime. Okay, so anime was a very frustrating thing for me. I had known about anime as a kid growing up, but I knew about more of the adult, more obscure anime. I say adult, mainly not in that way, but more adult in the way that it's like it's meant for adults. Like I grew up kids watching like Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, Dragon Ball, and and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh as well, but I never could get into Dragon Ball because I would always watch it. I'd always get into it like during the middle of a season, and it'd be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. So,
Right.
but Yu-Gi-Oh I actually actively try to keep up with, but even then that kind of divulged. But my uncle, now this is the uncle that like really got me into nerd things and like anime, video games, movies, everything. And he had shown me. I don't know if we might have even like talked about it, but he had shown me Appleseed, an anime.
Oh wow,
yeah.
that's an old one.
Oh, old, yeah, for sure. But I remember watching that, and it blew my mind. I don't think it was anything like too crazy, like story wise, but like it was really good. It was like a female protagonist with like, and she has like a love interest who is like a cyborg. And,
very
and
cool.
It you know, it had
like poggers.
It had, you know, like I did pog as a little child, I did. But it had like the violence, the drama, the gore, the language. Like it was for adults, you know. And like
classic
watching that,
80s style.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I love that style so much. And like that was kind of my introduction to anime. So I kind of already had my bar set, and like I couldn't watch like so that's why watching Dragon Ball for me like was kind of like it felt like a little kid stuff, you know.
Understandable.
It did until
He's cool, man.
until I did go back and watch it, and be like, oh no, this is actually really cool. I missed out on a lot of content that way, but you know, I get to rediscover it nowadays. But yeah, like it was just a nice it was a good movie. That and the second Appleseed movie was really good as well. I did watch Advent Children, the Final Fantasy movie, and I remember thinking that was cool, but realizing that it might not have been a great movie. But,
yeah.
But still cool visuals. So that was kind
Good
of
action scenes.
Yeah. So like I had liked anime, I just couldn't talk about it with my friends.
Nobody
Right.
knew, but you know who did know?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Charles. Hell's too cold.
I knew.
Hells! How's it going, Hells? I hope you're doing
I just like saying Charles
Yes.
QBanks.
You gotta say it.
It is it.
He goes,
Poggers.
gentlemen, poggers, very poggers indeed.
Yes. And
But
this
yes,
is Blackout
Alright,
as well.
This is Charles. Blackout's
I'm
here?
gonna redeem this.
I see Blackout.
Oh, he wants a
Charles.
battle cry. All right.
Charles wants. Yes.
All right.
Ready, Charles?
Ready?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
good, man.
It did. How much better do you feel, Charles?
I feel... Well, my throat feels a little worse, but
It happens.
inside, my soul feels much more powerful.
There we go.
That's all that matters.
Do you want to pull up your questions? You had some very good ones for us.
Yes.
As well.
As well. I do have some
Liam's questions.
Poggers for progress.
Yes. Now we had already asked some of these, but I'm gonna take it back a little bit to elementary school and when we were children.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Now, Charles, very very important question that will set the direction we go into. Lunchtime. When you opened up your lunchbox, what was in there? Like, what was like the things that Charles had to have in his lunchbox?
I just remembered an Ernest P. Worrell skit where he's playing as an old man, and he says, "One day I was sitting on an I-beam, and I opened up my lunchbox, and inside was a piece of the great white buffalo. Anyway," and he just goes on in another tangent.
Anyway.
But, lunchbox in middle school. What did
Yeah.
I have in there? It was usually a sandwich of some kind. Tuna sandwich with chips that were usually also destroyed by the time I ate them.
Yeah.
And a fruit, whether an apple or fruit cup. So
No bananas.
that was generally it. Bananas have an interesting effect on my digestive system. They tend to constipate me, which apparently for some people, that is like the opposite of what should happen with a banana.
That's
Oh.
So
weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
I just feel
But-
like that's a standard for a kid. Is like, yeah, have a banana.
Yeah, I can't have a
Yeah.
banana unless I have something else with it. you
Yeah,
know?
I'm like that with eggs.
Like a coffee.
Yes, exactly, like a coffee. Peanut butter on banana and coffee.
Ooh,
Not bad.
yeah. Or,
So,
or
yeah.
cutting slices of bananas and putting it into your cereal.
No, you can't do that.
But
No,
I guess
that's some old people
I,
stuff.
ge- I guess I'm an old man.
You
now.
are.
You know something
You're
that
older
I've
than me.
realized? I have realized that what is good for old people is good for all people. And
No, it's
everyone
not
should
true.
eat like an old person.
It's true.
Maybe a
Just
little bit more
oatmeal.
protein than an old person,
Yeah.
but oatmeal, fruit, fruits with other foods, lots of vegetables,
Butter pecan ice cream.
things that are. Oh man,
Coffee
what is that?
flavored ice cream. Come on, Charles.
Oatmeal raisin
Ooh.
cookies. Actually, those are pretty good. I do like
No,
those.
Ooh.
man.
I like all of the things you just mentioned.
Are you serious? I hate those things.
What do you
Maybe not the
mean?
first one.
What was the first
Butter
one?
pecan.
Butter pecan ice cream. I would eat that. Yeah.
I like most flavors of ice cream, I feel.
Yeah. Just don't give me like cheese ice cream or something.
I don't know an ice cream I didn't like.
Yeah.
What was that thing? There's an old people food.
Uncrustables. That's a good one.
Oh
Like
yeah,
a-
yeah.
There's a Greek, like a Greco-mythological food that like comes from heaven, and it sounds really cool. No, but it's basically just like what what people made is in the 50s or 60s is like marshmallows with whipped cream and fruit. Just that, and like Jello in it, all together.
Oh, you're telling me that dessert stuff I got from Hometown Buffet was an ancient Greek thing of the
The
gods ate?
food of the gods. There's a
Jared says
certain word.
ambrosia.
Ambrosia, that's it. They called it ambrosia.
That was ambrosia?
I
Yep.
thought you were making a joke, Jared, from
No.
the 80s.
It's ambrosia. You look up
Ambrosia.
the food ambrosia, and it is this like old person stuff.
Yeah, dude, I used to go ham as a
Only
kid
my
on that.
grandmother
On
would serve.
ambrosia.
Yeah. Oh, I loved it. It was so good. It was so good and tasty.
It's not bad. It's just like I would never think to make this.
Yeah, yeah. You look at it and you're like, that's gonna give me like diabetes or something. And
Yeah,
then,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
My mom makes ambrosia fruit salad all the time. It's so good.
Fruit salad. Yeah.
Fruit salad.
Was that
Zombie
Joe?
bread.
It's not. No joke. It is tasty.
Yeah. Here it is.
Oh!
You've never had that?
Oh, my mom makes that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
I guess
See?
I
hate it.
No.
I hate it.
Come on.
It's gooey.
It is very googy. Googy?
Googie. Yeah.
It's very goo.
Yeah. Yeah. Charles, I don't know if you knew, but your vernacular will change here on the show.
Oh yes. You will. Be
You will get
very
Valheim
dumb.
speak. Yeah. Yeah.
Valheim speak.
Yeah,
Oh,
Valheim.
you want to play Valheim?
Valheim.
Yeah. There. Yeah. You got
There
it.
it is. Careful, 'cause
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna start saying stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Ambrosia Jello cakes are
It's
the
contagious.
most common. Jello cakes.
Oh, dude,
Jell-O
I want
cakes.
I want a bowl of that like right now. Like dude, I'm telling you, I used to
I'm telling you.
hometown buffet. Ooh.
My mom used to work there. Maybe that's where
Oh.
she got the recipe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Good.
I think
Some
that's
good food.
one of the reasons why there are so many of these different things that are considered old people food is because it's very easy to digest. You don't have to like bite on it, you know.
Yeah.
You just swallow it. You don't need teeth to eat this.
Yeah. Do they still have that one job where people just chew up food and spit it in their mouth?
Oh gosh.
Dude, don't dis-
I
don't-
hope not.
Don't scare Charles.
It's a real life job. What are you talking about?
No, I have heard of that.
Be sure to bring more salad.
Raid.
Hell's
Hell's too
coming
cold.
in with a raid. Where are you playing? still playing the Wonderlands?
Yeah, what was he playing? The Borderlands game. Yes, yes, Tiny Tina's.
Hello, welcome in. This is our first time ever doing an interview with our dear boy Charles.
Yes, an interview, a conversation, whatever your hearts may want to hear.
Yeah, so the apologies if we don't get to chat.
Yes.
That often. I don't get to speak with Charles very often.
It's true, we don't.
That's true. We'll get into some fiery discussions.
I got so many questions.
That one was a good one.
Yeah. I like knowing what people eat. It tells you a lot about who they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Get raided.
Hells, real quick, how is the new Borderlands game?
Yeah, let us know.
Good question.
So, Charles, growing up, what kind of person would you say you were in like your social group?
It hasn't changed much. I guess when I was young, yeah, it hasn't changed much. I'm very laid back and pretty quiet most of the time, and I was that way even back when I was like 5 or 6, and I had a friend that was like the opposite of that, like ADD all the way. And he would want to wrestle and sword fight and jump on the trampoline and run through the woods.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. And, you know, I liked sword fighting, but not when he was trying to kill me, you know? And so that would be painful. But I always tried to, like, keep things contained and keep things more quiet and more subdued, and he would just want to be rambunctious. So we ended up having fun together. We brought out, I think, the better parts of each other. Kind of matured together. I always loved, and he always loved, video games and PC games and Nintendo games. And we'd spend, if ever we started playing a video game, we would never stop. So our mothers had to keep us from doing that for too long. But, you know, we found out ways to continue playing or to get back to it later, or, you know, make dates where we could play games a lot. But then into middle school, because I was homeschooled back in the day, and so I only really had like a few friends. But then I went to middle school and had a few more, and guess what? They were all quiet, video gamey nerds. And we got
the best
together very well, yes. Only the best. Coming up with new languages based on Klingon, playing code games with each other, passing, you know, notes in code to one another, stuff like that.
That's something I would have done for sure growing up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Learning about runes and stuff.
Yeah. We've always said here on this show is that we don't trust anyone that either don't play video games.
Yes.
That they don't curse, that they don't...
With exception.
They don't, what's that?
It's because you play video games.
Yeah. So you play, you know, if they don't, they have to have one of these at least.
Yes.
So either they play video games, they curse, they either drink or smoke, or they jack off.
I was gonna say jack off was
masturbation.
Yes.
Sorry,
but we won't get into that one. But you do one of the things.
If they don't have any of those, if they don't have any of those, they can't do my taxes.
Yeah,
and I don't trust them.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes,
they have to air their laundry in an honest fashion.
Yeah.
Yes. Flan goes, "Hi, Charles. Hi,
Hello.
Run elated show.
Run elated show.
Run elated.
Run elated.
I do like running and being elated at the same time. I do.
Elated running.
Oh god.
That was a good question.
Yeah. Again, you learn a lot about someone when you learn about their past. It's true.
It's true. Smart boy.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I try. I really try.
I was like that too.
Yeah?
I was very quiet.
Yeah. Did you? I know this is interview Charles, but did you like have like a huge like friend group growing up?
huge? No.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew most people, but I didn't. Like, I hung out with like only a couple of kids.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's very similar across this room. Yeah, we're in one room, by the way. This is not
No,
not
that's
an
how
illusion.
We're all
we
in the
decorated that
study.
side of the room.
Yeah, we just decorated a square just right there.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Don't you think too much into it. Okay. We kind of went through some of these.
Okay.
Charles. So,
Yes.
is there a game that gives you the warm and fuzzy feelings every time you think about it?
It's gonna say Dark Souls.
I was gonna, but actually, the warm and because like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I do get the warm fuzzies,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a cool warm fuzzies, you know. I don't know. It's fuzzy, but it's not warm, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I have fond memories, but I would say definitely Kirby games. my childhood. Because holy cow, those are just a pleasure to play through. Whether you go for like 100% completion, which is really hard in Kirby games, or play through it normally, which is very easy, it's always just such a pleasant time. And the new Switch Kirby game came out, and now I need a Nintendo Switch.
That is true.
And yeah, but so I'll be doing that at some point. But yeah, Kirby's, I think it was Kirby's Adventure, just Kirby's Adventure that I originally played, and then Kirby in Dreamland, I think that's the colorized version, was my favorite. And that one had like the crane game, and it had a bunch of side games that were really fun. Like,
did you play the 64 one, the Kirby and the Crystal Shard?
yes,
Oh, that
yes,
one was,
that one.
That's the one I played.
Yeah, I played that as well with that ADD friend I had. Love that one. It's so colorful, and playing a Kirby game that had 3D elements, that was crazy. Like getting those crystal shards, that was like, those are graphics, you know, those are real graphics.
Dude, the graphics. You can see.
Did you ever get to the end, the true end boss of Kirby and the Crystal Shards?
Probably not. I mean, I was a kid. I was like, I would barely get through the first couple levels, you know?
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's something I did a lot too, was just get a game, or have, you know, my brother's game, and play through the first 1 or 2 levels, maybe 3 levels, over and over and over again.
Yep.
Those are usually the easiest. Those are
Yeah.
the ones where you can just kind of walk around, do what you want, and not get punished too hard,
Yeah.
and just vibe, you know,
Vibe out.
Hell
if
yeah.
you will.
Yeah.
So I am gonna change the subject a little bit. This is something I'm very curious about, and I don't really know how other people, other streamers handle this, because we've only ever had to do it once, the one time. With the exception of twice. With
We've
the
got
exception,
to do it a little bit.
a little bit.
One time with the exception of twice,
Yeah, one
with
major
a
time.
third time outstanding,
Yeah, it's
and
definitely
a
more
fourth.
than once.
Okay. So the subject is I want to know your thoughts on when to ban people on Twitch, and when do you think is enough? Yeah, just like that.
That's a good question. It really does depend on the circumstance itself, the specific circumstance. I've had people coming in and being like, like obviously trolly, but like making jokes that don't have anything to do with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, like, I can always tell when someone is going to be a problem from their very first message
Oh, yeah.
in chat. And you get that sinking feeling because it's like, this is not my culture.
Yeah.
And then you hear them keep talking, and it's like, oh man,
Sorry about that, Charles.
They're
Flan,
becoming
I'm
a
sure
problem.
You're a nice guy.
I forgive you, sentient dessert. I don't know what you've done, but I forgive you. But yeah, usually there's not much reason to ban unless they are literally making fun of people's religion, race, gender, and generally being nasty.
Yeah.
You know, if they continue to be nasty after being told not to, and if they're truly repentant, you can always unban them. If they're going to be a real friend, they might ask to be unbanned later.
Has that happened?
Yes, that has happened once. A person was saying some things, got really on a roll of a certain joke and wouldn't stop, and so I was like, ban. And then later on they're like, oh, sorry, Charles, I know I shouldn't have been doing that, but I was just in the moment. And they're like, oh, it's okay. And I haven't had a problem with them since.
Yeah.
So it can happen. But most of the time it's just like really bad stuff is
Like right out the
obviously
gate.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they come right out the gate cussing, or like excellent examples are always like, death to this person. And it's like, uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear me.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a...
or
we haven't
or
run
this
into that
nationality.
before.
I haven't
Yeah.
had nothing
So that's
like
happened in my channel a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
that. Wow.
But I mean, that's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
'Cause-
yeah.
Recently, there was a situation in a series, like a network of people I know, where everyone was having issues with this one person, and people asked me what to say about it, and I was like, well, they haven't been causing much trouble in my channel. It just is kind of negative what they're saying, but they're saying it in everyone's channel, and so my kind of rule is, if it makes the streamer uncomfortable, really uncomfortable, that is grounds enough for banning. You can try to appeal to the person before doing so, warning the person that if they continue this thing, then you ban them. But failing that, you ban them, because life is too short. The stream, is too short. I don't know if that works, but get the idea. It is your channel. You have the power to make it the way you want it to be. So if you don't like something, you can stop it. So it's just up to the individual streamer, really, what your boundaries are, and stick to them,
No, yeah.
and everything will go well.
You shouldn't be losing
People
your
will understand.
sleep over a follower, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not. But I don't know if the experience has been the same for you, but to be honest, like I feel like Daniel and I we don't really find a whole lot of people where we do feel like we have to ban them. Maybe say a word or two, but like it's surprisingly not that bad. And
Yeah.
like it's streaming. It's been pretty good. You meet a lot of really great people this way, to be honest.
Yeah, like everyone in the chat right now.
Ah, yes, it
Right
is
now.
true. Every one of you in chat, just watching us and having a good time with us, like that in of itself means so much to me, And it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised when I started streaming. I don't know why, but I always expect the worst in people. So when I started streaming, I expected the trolls to just come out of the woodwork, attack
Yeah.
me, attack the way I look, attack the way I sound, always kind of on guard.
Yeah.
And it never really happened until like the third year I was streaming, and then it was just like people that are literally racist or hate group, and it's like, yeah, I'll ban those people.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about that.
Oh no. for sure.
We had it our first like couple months.
Oh, really?
Some guy called us yuppie boys.
That is true. That is it.
but we never
happened-
banned that guy. He just never came back.
Yeah, we did it. He did call us yuppie boys. He wanted us to flex for him, and he wanted to know what my bed looked like.
Yeah. it
So
was weird.
Oh boy.
obviously very kind man.
But we were kind of.
Right.
I mean, this is when we first started. We were kind of, wanting some followers.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think at
And we
that
didn't.
point.
We didn't. We were just kind of like, yeah, trying to still look for friends and
Yeah.
People that were cool. So we were like giving him a chance, and
He was obviously not cool. We should not have given him a chance.
he never came back.
He
so
never. Yeah.
I don't know where that guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with your channel especially, you guys are so chill with people that even if someone does say something weird, you're willing to take it in stride as a joke
Oh,
and
yeah.
feel it out.
You gotta.
Yeah. I
And-
think that's the only way, you know. I feel like I
Yeah.
kind of learned that the hard way a little bit.
What?
I feel like I was a little bit too on the defensive when we first started streaming. Like
Really?
like that first year. Like I think I was like if somebody were to say something in chat, I would be a little bit quicker on the defense rather than like deflecting it off and being like, oh, that's a funny joke, you know.
You were
Yeah,
blocking
yeah.
instead of parrying.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. I was doing this when I should have been doing this, you know.
Yes, flow like water.
Yes.
Let the
yes.
attack pass by you.
Yes, it's true. It's true, and that's something that you can really take. To,
I got him. You saw that?
It did. I'm trying to say something very profound.
Yes, it's quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
It's
no,
over
I
now.
don't want to talk. I don't want to say.
How can you
anymore.
defend yourself without a proper tie?
It's true. It's true. It's true.
It's true.
But you know what? In these lands, it's a no ties land.
No ties.
Neck free.
Yeah, neck free. It's where all the necks can live in harmony
Yeah, and the neck
without
beards.
being constricted.
Liberate the necks.
Yes.
Liberate the neck beards.
Oh,
You got more for it?
I do.
Yes.
Charles, I'm very curious to know your thoughts on the gaming industry. Like, I want to know if
You saw his face?
I did.
He went, oh boy.
I did. I want to know if you are jaded or if you are hopeful.
That's a more specific question than I was expecting. Jaded or hopeful? I am both. Jaded and hopeful, because I'm jaded against the AAA industry entirely. The AAA industry's response to Elden Ring's success
Oh yeah.
has shown that at least a lot of people in the AAA industry do not know what the heck they're talking about. So that didn't used to be the case, obviously. Activision was once an indie company that was trying to vie for equal pay for all of the different people in a development company, and that's changed a bit. And so that is definitely the jaded part of me. I do not expect like really good games out of the AAA industry. Good games, sure, okay games, mostly.
They're missing that soul aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good word, soul aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have hope for the future though, because FromSoft, which used to be considered an indie company, now has too much money and too many connections to be considered anything but a AAA development company.
Yeah.
And they made Elden Ring, and another really amazing development company of Bluepoint has recently been doing a lot for Sony, and they had enough money and time to create Demon's Souls Remake, which is like the best looking game I've ever played.
Oh yeah.
So I have definite hope for the future, because Elden Ring and Demon's Souls Remake are showing people that you can make a challenging game, even kind of a retro-styled game, and it be popular, not just well-received or critically acclaimed, but popular. And so this could go either way. Like, Elden Ring's success could lead to a lot of really bad attempts by the AAA industry, and even indie games, to mimic Elden Ring, or it could mean the opposite, which is a lot of people mimicking Elden Ring and making great games. So I have hopes and expectations for both, really. I don't trust the AAA industry at all, but we've found many new releases in the last 5 years that are amazing, and some of my favorite games. So that's my answer.
I was gonna say how, because I don't play Souls games, and I was thinking, why do I like this game so much? I can't stop. I'm always thinking about it. I'm always researching on it and stuff like that, and but it's not a technically it's not as advanced like Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably one of my favorite games of all time. There's so much you can do in that game, and it's like that was my problem with Ghost of Tsushima. I just felt like it was missing something like that. And
a spark.
Yeah, I was like, I thought this is such a cool world. They have why didn't they put in like fishing or like foods that you could like eat instead of hitting yourself? Maybe, I don't know what he was doing. He would just hit himself and he would heal. I felt like it was missing something, but playing Elden Ring, I'm just kind of like, I don't need to fish in Elden Ring. I don't need to.
That would be cool, though.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, they should add that in.
I don't know how it would work. You just kill it.
Shoot an arrow.
Yeah. But, yeah,
Call down meteors.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, that's kind of just my take on that, because, people were kind of jealous of, oh, their UI isn't even that great, or, oh, their, this, I don't know, combat system's nothing new of the AAA people were saying. But it's but it works. I don't know how they do it, but it works perfectly.
See, I don't look. I don't want to say anything because I don't think he's here. But Esteban and I, we were having a conversation about that, and he did bring up those points, and I kind of equated it to a fighting game. It's like you wouldn't want Smash Bros to feel completely different than how the last game was. You want it to feel like Smash Bros. Like I want an Elden Ring to feel like Dark Souls 3, but with improved things, which they did.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And that's right. Like, it's exactly what it is, and it feels great. I don't want it to be its own Elden Ring. I don't want it to be Sekiro.
Right.
I want it to
for Elden Ring. Sorry.
Oh no, please.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For Elden Ring to turn more into a Red Dead Redemption 2 styled game. It would probably be a good game, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as interesting. It wouldn't be its own thing, right? I'm not a fan of Red Dead Redemption 2, but it does a lot for the industry itself. It did a lot. It accomplished much. The graphical bar was set way higher, even on last-gen consoles than it had been before. And the size of the world and the number of quests, I think Daniel was getting at, the interactivity of the world is something that I don't think had ever been seen in that kind of open game before. But it's not a Souls game. It definitely got its success on its complexity, in a way. Not necessarily the complexity of the gameplay, but the complexity of its systems and the world and all that goes on.
I guess I was trying to say what it does, what it wants to do, it does
exactly.
Phenomenally. Same with Elden Ring. I know they're two separate kind of things.
Yep. You get it's that point of if you make a good game, people will like it.
Yeah. Cause I was telling Liam back in the day when Cyberpunk came out, I was like, how come it's not good? While I was like, what? There's not, because it's not. There's no way it's that powerful of a game that it they couldn't do it because like people have day and nights, people have jobs, and the animals interact with each other, and the footsteps are there, and if you kill something in Red Dead, you come back to the same spot, the bones are there. It's like they could have done it. I was like, they just I don't know.
They did a
CD
lot.
Well, we
Projekt
know what
Red
happened.
Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we know.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, what is going on here? Why is it crashing so much?
Why does my game play this at 20 frames?
It was not, I just couldn't fathom it. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I forgot what the question was. We were
We
Jaded
lost-
or
Oh,
hopeful
yeah, there
for
we go.
the gaming industry.
yes.
Then there's the new Diablo game that is coming out, and that's a mixed bag, isn't it? Because you don't want to trust Blizzard anymore based on the
No.
IRL things that have gone on.
Yeah.
But it's like it could be a better Diablo than we've ever had before, you know?
It's
Yeah.
true.
And that's the plight of strangely, a lot of AAA companies have things like this that have gone on. And I think more than we know.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what's keeping them in that loop. It's like they're like, oh, this could be the best one yet, and then that kind of gets everyone to buy it and realize, oh no, the last one was better, you know. And it's like I feel like the AAA companies can kind of just get lost in that.
That's
And,
true. That is what happened with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
They thought they could push out a miracle game because that's what they did with Witcher 3, and they couldn't.
Yeah, we found that the hard
Plain and
way.
Yeah.
Fawn goes, maybe you were able to connect more with the main character's story and plight.
To which game? We jumped games so much.
Probably
Oh,
Elden Ring
Red
or
Dead?
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
I think it might be Red Dead.
Yeah, I feel like I connected to Elden Ring's main character, not because of the story, but like his triumphs, you know. I think it kind of depends on which games, and you can almost like, I mean, Elden Ring has very esoteric like meanings behind the actual overarching story and what your quest as a tarnished is. You know, I don't want to get into it, but like, at least that for me, that's what kind of resonated with me. But I think that's kind of all you have with a game where you have to really look for the story.
Yeah,
Whereas Red Dead, you live it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Saint, the story of Hello Games is an interesting one in this topic.
Oh.
An indie studio that put out a AAA game, crashed the launch, then built it back up from the ashes into a success.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I remember that name,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what the
Hello
game
Games, yeah, me too.
was.
Yeah, it was the was it the neighbor game?
Hello
Oh,
Neighbor?
Hello
it might
Neighbor?
have been Hello Neighbor, right?
No Man's
No!
Sky. There we go.
Yes,
there we
yes,
go.
yes.
Oh,
Ah,
yes.
No Man's Sky.
Okay, because
No
I know
Man's Sky.
I know Hello Neighbor
Yeah.
had a similar thing where it was like a good game and then it wasn't a good game, but then they like updated it to try to make it that great game they were talking
Damn, I
about.
totally forgot about
But yeah, No Man's Sky.
Yep.
Nothing but good
Well,
things
that's-
now.
That's the big turnaround, the one big exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not really a rule, but
It's a hidden rule, right? It's like, yeah, you're
Right.
you shouldn't pre-order video games, you know.
right.
But yeah, that was a game I actually pre-ordered. I don't know if you have done
No
that.
Man's Sky?
I did.
Wow.
Wow.
And
I did
to-
not.
To be honest, I liked it when it came out. I did.
Oh.
I did. But I didn't go in with high expectations. I
You
kinda
like
knew-
trash?
I
Sorry,
do.
I'm just
I
kidding.
do. No, I know. But like, I didn't expect it to be this mind-altering game. Like, I expected it to be like a sandbox where you go and just explore different planets, and that's basically what it was. And I was fine with that. But I did want more, but I knew what I was getting into, you know.
Yeah,
And wasn't disappointed.
that's great. I mean, yeah, if you know, that's the deal. If you know what you're getting into, you will probably enjoy something more.
Yeah.
And if you don't, because then you have all these expectations.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I have a whole history of learning that myself from pre-ordering games and then not liking them or just kind of liking them, but not enough to like warrant the money, you know? Because usually I buy games on sale
okay.
Yes. What
after having researched them.
what was your learning lesson game for that?
I feel like there was one before this, but Sekiro is the big one for me. Because it was a FromSoft game, it was
Yeah.
teased for 2 years. The first game to be made after I played Bloodborne, and the first game to be made after Dark Souls 3. And those are both very similar games, at least in terms of the gameplay loop. And I was really expecting it to be a Bloodborne sequel. The way that they did the marketing was so vague that it definitely could have been.
Yeah, it was the hand.
Yes,
that
and
was
like
it.
the bone that was wrapped in like bloody ropes. It was like tightening and chink,
yeah.
you know, and it's like,
believe
oh,
that.
it's a transforming weapon.
Yeah.
But so I pre-ordered it, and I did know that it was going to be a samurai shinobi game set in medieval or Edo period fantasy Japan. But that's really all I'd known about it. I didn't see any gameplay. I just pre-ordered it, and I was so excited. Played it on stream, and within the first like 4 hours, I was like, "This is gonna open up soon, right? Like, we'll get some new abilities, we'll get some new weapons, some armor sets or something. Gameplay will change, right?" Wrong. It never did. It was the same gameplay loop from the first 4 hours is what you will experience for the 40 hours or the 60 hours it takes for you to beat it. And I was so frustrated every time I died because I knew there was nothing more for me to do than what I was already doing, just better.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I could level or anything, and so it's not because the game was bad that I was disappointed with it. It's not because it was ill-made that the pre-order was a bad choice. It was just because the gameplay style was not my forte.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I knew then on, I was like, okay.
I mean, you
Even-
can level. You can power yourself up by fighting bosses.
Yeah. You had to beat a boss in order to get a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to be as strong as you possibly could be, you had to have beaten all the bosses, secret or otherwise, in an area.
Okay.
And even when you do that, you're not overpowered. You are never overpowered in Sekiro. You just have to use the very few tools at your disposal really well and make like less than 3 mistakes basically per life cycle. So I ended up being really mad at the end because it took, again, like 3 or 4 days for me to get the end boss, Ishin.
Oh, you beat
the
it.
true end boss. I did not.
Oh.
I did not. I got him down to like a tick of health, and he killed me, and I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to play this ever again in my life. And
Do you remember
yeah,
that fateful day?
I remember that fateful day very, very well. And yes, I will not play Sekiro ever again.
But Neo though.
Neo is it's not as hateful to me as Sekiro because there is a lot more variety available.
Yes.
It's still difficult,
Yeah.
but it's not as limited. And my friends really egged me on and like helped me through the game to get me through it. And I did beat Neo and the final boss of Neo and all the side bosses, at least in the main game. I never
Ashen One,
bought any of the
be
DLC.
sure to bring
But
more
Crimson
souls.
Fury is rating with a party of 5.
Dude, Crimson, thanks for the raid, brother.
How you doing, man? How was your stream? We got Charles in the house.
Yes, he is quite literally in the house.
He really is.
Yeah.
And we're asking
Inside of the
questions.
establishment.
Yes, we're not going to say which establishment, but he is inside an establishment.
Yes,
We do
secret
plan
location.
to try and get this interview podcasty kind of thing going.
Yeah.
So we had to get our boy
Yes.
CharlesQBanks on.
It had to happen.
Yes.
It had to happen. And it's been quite
It's
a
been a
lovely
blast.
conversation.
I think you only
love
have a
talking
couple
to
more
Charles.
minutes left, right, Charles?
Yeah,
No
I
worries.
must indeed get
All right.
to
You
to
have
bed.
one last question for him?
That was kind of the majority of my questions.
Really?
I did want to ask. I know we had kind of touched and tippy-toed around Elden Ring, and I kind of want to just know your. I just want to know your thoughts. Yeah, we had some ASMR like tippy taps.
Yes. My thoughts on Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Well, I know we said a couple minutes and not another couple hours, but
Right.
very, very short, quick.
So I haven't beaten it yet. I think I'm in the last quarter or maybe last third. I don't know how much left there is. But yeah, it is definitely the best FromSoft game so far. And Bloodborne is Bloodborne is/was my favorite game of all time.
Wow.
But Elden Ring may blow it out of the water just by being so objectively more. Like,
yeah,
there is so much more going on. There's so much more content, so many more hours, so much. Because another thing with Bloodborne, it started going in the direction of Sekiro from Bloodborne. It kind of course corrected from the very RPG style of Dark Souls 2, which was focusing way more on stats than on skill. Still very skill based, but it started going the opposite direction, which is just on skill. And Bloodborne is very skill intensive.
Yeah.
But I like that because it's more aggressive, like you have to be aggressive, and I like to play dumb and just run at enemies and slash at them, and Bloodborne allows you to do that, and you can get away with it. But Elden Ring, you can play however the heck you want. You don't have to play aggressively, you can play defensively, you can play with spells or incantations, keep it at range, have a mix of melee and spells, bows, whatever it is you want, and you can build any class. I hit hard. And it's so fun. I've always said, at least for me, that player freedom is the most important thing in keeping a player engaged in a game. For me it is, anyway, because like, if you see that you can leave your mark on a game, whether it's creating your character or fighting a boss in a different way than someone else did, it can leave an impression, make its mark on your memory, and that's
More personal.
like more personal, yeah, and you can do that so many times with Elden Ring. It's like,
true, yeah.
I haven't beaten it, and I'm like 150 hours in,
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god.
and I have like 12 or 15 different build ideas for other playthroughs.
Yeah.
It's like-
Oh, yeah.
it's ridiculous. So anyway,
Why? And I have,
yeah.
I'm barely
You're-
submerged.
You're barely
into the iceberg.
scratching the surface
Yeah.
of Elden Ring, for sure. Yeah.
iceberg it is indeed.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
Definitely, probably my favorite game of all time at this point, and maybe one of the better games ever made.
Wow.
I would have to agree. It has been everything I wanted out of it, plus times 10.
Yep.
It is absolutely just. It's a treat for gamers. It's what we need, you know. It's what
Yep.
we need.
Exactly.
Charles.
What I've needed.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true. Charles, this has been a great conversation. I love asking you these questions, getting to know you a little bit more and more every day, and I think we have learned some.
Oh
things
yeah,
about
and
Charles, you know?
wanted to dip my toes into that brain of yours
It's true.
for quite some time.
Excuse me?
Yes, get
And,
my toes all around.
I just had this idea ever since I talked with. I know Crimson was there, but like
Yes.
I've talked to Miss Jones, Taryn, Hells, Nick Lover.
Yeah,
We've
I
had
know, Nick.
like we've been on their stuff and just like when I talk to them, like we go for hours just talking.
Yeah.
So it's just so fun because we just keep we know what Twitch is and we know that's what I like the banning question a lot.
Yeah.
We just know how it is. You know what I mean?
I
So
feel
it's
like
just
that's
cool.
something streamers don't really talk about too often, only when it happens. You
Yes.
know?
So
Yeah.
I wanted to try and see if we can get more and more people on because I like talking to my friends.
It's true. It's true.
It's a great idea.
Dear friend.
Thank you,
of
thank you.
ours.
And I'm really happy we were able to have you as the first.
Yeah.
Yes, I am honored and pleased to have been invited at all, but it is quite an honor to be the first. Thank you
the
so
honor's
much for
all
having
yours.
me on.
Of course.
Of course.
Yes, the
Now,
honor is all mine.
I
Yes,
know.
yes, it's all yours.
I know you gotta go. I don't know.
Yes.
To go tend to your garden, or I don't know if you go to bed or what.
This
But
late at night.
I know.
Real quick,
Yes.
Charles, do you have anything to plug? Anything you would like to tell us where we can watch you?
Simply my original Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CharlesQBanks, as well as a channel that I've been frequenting lately and doing similar things, not an interview, but tier lists with Chats with Cat at twitch.tv /Chats with Cat. Very fun. We've been doing romantic couples tier lists and quite a
that's
few
awesome.
anime couples and talking about that. And it's been so stinking fun on Tuesday and Thursday nights. So, yes, tune in if you will to that as well. I also have a YouTube channel, which you can
yes.
follow. I upload things very sporadically
Oh,
and
we know
spastically.
all about that.
Yeah.
So you never know what's gonna come out of me on YouTube, but I do have a YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
That's it for me.
Alrighty, Charles. Well, thank you again for coming on. I
Yes.
appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. I love you, boys. I truly enjoy your company and your streams. Such good fun, good times.
Try to keep the fun, you know.
Yes,
keep
I
it
look
going.
forward to more chats
Oh,
with you fellows.
Save, Charles.
Alrighty, Charles. We'll catch you on the next one. All right.
Yes.
Until
Until
then,
next time.
Charles always
God bless.
wins.
Yes, Charles
Farewell.
wins.
Again!
All right, see you,
All right.
Charles.
We'll see.
Bye.